We're going to this the final to the undercard, the chief support, Dillian Whyte, Haye.
Yeah, I like that fight.
It's a great fight.
I think that could be fight of the night.
But again, that fight was made 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but these guys should have fought each other a while ago anyway. These guys were training for other fights, so it's not like it's a shorty. Yeah, these guys are fight fit, and they're in a position to. The winner is the mandatory challenge for the WBC title. So I think this is a good fight. I honestly think this will be fight of the night.
What do you make of the whole Deontay Wilder offers made? And I'm here. This is what I've heard. Eddie offered $3 million. Wilder came back, his team came back and said we want $7 million.
I understand that. I'm just trying to figure out where Wilder will get that money from elsewhere. I like Wilder. I rate Wilder. I think his performances haven't been as good up to becoming champion. But once he became champion, he's done what he has to do to win. I don't think he's had that signature fight to say, wow, did you see that? That's his fight. AJ's fight was Klitschko. I thought Wilder's fight would have been Ortiz. I thought, good shout. Wilder picked that fight. I said, yeah, man, you've got to rate this, buddy. He's picked it. Ortiz, unfortunately, failed the drug test. Wilder was still willing to fight him. This shows the mentality and the attitude of Wilder. So everything's there, everything's in place. He's just not had that signature fight where you think, whoa. So the problem is, the only other signature fight out there is Anthony Joshua. So he doesn't. The problem is that Wilder doesn't want to price himself out of fights, waiting for the Joshua fight. I don't understand why he's priced himself out of the Dillian Whyte fight. I don't know where else he'd get that kind of money from, bar Anthony Joshua. So he must have his reasons. It might be business. I don't know. He must have his reasons. We don't know how close the fight is to being made. We don't know, but what we do know is the winner of Dillian Whyte and Haye is supposed to fight Wilder. The winner of the Wilder and whoever is supposed to fight AJ in the summer. So all roads lead to Wembley again, and I'm looking forward to it.
Theoretically speaking, say AJ had an opportunity for a unification clash, commercially, financially, what would be bigger, Dillian Whyte or Wilder?
Dillian Whyte.
100%.
Dillian Whyte. And there's another one that
would that attract the American market, or do we not need the American market?
You don't need the American market. Remember, we've sold Wembley over and over again. With the fighters from all over the world want to come and fight into the UK. You don't need the American market. You know, Carl Froch could have boxed Chavez, but he boxed George Groves instead and got 80,000 people at Wembley Stadium. You know, which shows you don't need the American market. We saw Klitschko and AJ in Wembley. You don't need the American market. This is a good fight for this side of the world. America is no longer ruling the roost when it comes to the fight game. Yes, the big money's there, the attractive opportunity there, but a fight can be placed anywhere in the world. I also think if David Haye beat Tony Bellew, that would be bigger in the UK. David Haye and Anthony Joshua in the UK, which could happen if he got through Tony Bellew. So there are options there which make good business. The reason why this fight's happening is to get that mandatory challenge out of the way, that mandatory obligation out of the way. So therefore he has a year to say, right, I'm going to back A, B and C. So common sense says these are the money fights, these are the attractive fights, these are the fights like that put bombs on scenes. And so it's business, but it's good business. So now it's about giving the fans what they want, giving the fans the fights they want. We as boxing people want to see AJ against Wilder, but the masses want to see the big fights. They want to see maybe Anthony Joshua against Haye, Whyte or whatever. The masses, and that's what you've got to look at. That's how this game's evolved, and that's why boxing is now front page and back page of the newspapers, because the public are getting the fights they want.
We saw Cal Yafai mention during the press conference about how he's looking forward to going over America and having these super fights in the super flyweight division, and also other fighters. You look at the marquee fights, Anthony Joshua in the heavyweight division. You've got, if you look at the marquee fights out there, Wilder, potentially Haye, Dillian Whyte, maybe a Jarrell Miller down the road. It's not really stacked for him, considering someone like Anthony who wants to continue boxing for another 5, 6, 7 years.
It's not really stacked for him, but there are commercial fights and there are trade fights. but there are fights out there, and there's not been a time where you've looked and thought there's been a healthy mix of opposition in the heavyweight division since the 70s. So now it's getting juicy. And so therefore I think it's the right time, right place, right opportunities, and they're making the most of what's out there.
Johnny, we're in Cardiff, weather ain't great.
Yeah.
Sign us out.
Sign you out. You know who's here. This man is the badass. You go to a strip club, you'll find him in there. You go to I'm joking. Peace.
Johnny Nelson for FightHype.com. Thank you very much.